Hey guys, today we have a Volkswagen Jetta. This is 2.5 and we're gonna replace the axle on this car. So let's go around, let's see what the axle look like. As you can see down here, well, my camera is not fitting properly down here, but let me go around this side. The axle is all ripped apart. You see that? The axle bolt is all ripped. So we're gonna be replacing that axle. All the grease came out. So to start off, what we're gonna do is, to begin with, we're gonna remove steering lock. Make sure you leave your key in the steering so the steering doesn't lock. First, make sure you guys remove these cables from the sensor and the brake. The reason why it is because we're gonna be pulling this little bit so we can release the axle. Alright, so let me take these connectors off and then I'm gonna come right back and then I'll show you everything we're gonna be doing. Alright, so this should be almost like a 40-minute job, no more than that. So to begin with, what I'll do is, let me see if I can put my camera in this angle right here so you can see better. And let me set up my lighting. Alright, to start off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect the sensors. All right, make sure you take these sensors off because you will break these if you pull it, and you will break the cable internally. You'll damage the harness, then you'll have a brake light or ABS light on. And also, if you're gonna take it off this side is going to be a little difficult because the connector is twisted on into the wiring and everything. So this is the one we're going to be taking off. This is the one I hate because every time you do the brakes you got to mess with this sensor, right? So what we'll do is I'll try to manage it out of there without breaking anything. Alright, my phone rang, I'll be right back. Alright guys, so all I did was I pulled this thing out. Just take your time and slowly, because these connectors, they usually break and you don't want to break them. Alright, they come out pretty easy, but you just got to use a pick to push these because you're not going to be able to do it by hand. They're very stiff, they're very hard. So I got both of these connectors out and I got all this grease on me from the axle. So let's come on this side next. What I'm going to do next is we're gonna lift this out of the way. All right, so this is all out of the way. We'll just leave it hanging there. All right, and the brake cable has enough space for us to move because the caliper is gonna move with it. We're not taking off this linkage. We're gonna be taking out the axle this way, guys. All right, because this linkage, you know, usually these things does not want to come out. All right, so let's go down a little bit and we're gonna move on to the next step, which is gonna be removing this tie rod. What I like to do here is I like to brush this down a little bit. This is number 19, I believe, so I'm gonna be putting an impact on here. All right, let me just spray some WD-40 so it can be easy for me to remove. And next, what I'll do is I'll get number 19. It might be 18, but 19 will fit on it. So if you want to try 18, you try 18. This bolt is hard to take out because it locks itself, right? It has like a little washer, plastic in the back. It's smoking a little bit. It's hot, right? So that's out. What I'll do next is I'll tap this with the hammer, or if you have a tool to pull this off, either way. All right guys, so let me grab a hammer. All right, I'm gonna back up my camera a little bit and I'll move this tire out of the way. All right, so never tap down here, guys. If you do that, you'll damage the threads. You'll have a problem there. There you go. I did that just so I could see if it lifts out. Easy, alright? You don't have to go crazy at it. Alright guys, next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get more tools. We're gonna need number 15 if you're gonna take out the bolts for the ball joint. Alright, so let me bring my camera. I'll be right back. I'm gonna set up my camera so we can see down here. Alright guys, next we're gonna take off these 3 bolts. This is the ball joint bolts, so just clean the surface a little bit. Because if you don't clean it, that little bit of dirt is gonna cause a restriction. Spray some WD-40. Alright guys, so this one is number 16. Not a 15, but a 16. There you go, that's 1. That's 2. 3. Alright guys, I got the 3 bolts out. I should be able to remove this out of the way now. And I'm gonna go get a pry bar. What we're gonna do is we're gonna push this arm down. Alright, you don't need a pry bar, you can just do it like that, alright guys? There you go, it's out of the way and it's out. Alright guys, so we're gonna come back out. And now we're looking right here. Let me set up my light for this side. Alright guys, we're gonna be taking off the axle bolt. A lot of Volkswagens, Audis, they have a big Allen bolt here. So you might not have an Allen that's gonna fit there. But if you have this type of bolt, that's even better. But if you don't, you can you make something up. Like this is the tool. This is the back of the tool where you put number 17. 17 will go on it, and then it will go into the axle, and then you put the 17 in the back, and that should take it off for you. You see, it's like it turned into like a big Allen key, right? Usually this is not a common size, but this was a tool. This was to expand the exhaust pipes. The tool broke, so I cut the handle off and I kept it as a tool. All right, guys, that was my little invention. But we're looking at number 28 here. All right, so I'm gonna take off that 28. There you go. All right. Save this bolt. The axle will probably come with a new bolt. We'll put the new bolt in if it came with the new bolt. All right. So I'll just throw this to the side. All right, guys. We're pretty much done, guys, and the axle is ready to come out. All right, guys. I just want to tell you one thing. When the axle come out, some of the transmission fluid might come out. Either you could use a clean bucket and then put in some, put in the same transmission fluid if you use a clean bucket, or you can just put in a new fluid from the top into the transmission. But I'm gonna put a drain bucket down there so I catch any fluid that's gonna fall on the ground. All right, that just will prevent the floor from getting all dirty. All right, guys. So let me set this up and I'll be back. All right, guys. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna pull this forward and push the axle out. Right. A lot of times you gotta hammer it, but try it if you don't need to hammer it. That's what I'm trying to do here. Alright, there you go. I hammered it with my hand a little bit. So use like a flathead or something like anything, alright? Anything that works for you. Alright guys, so let's come on this side. Hopefully you can see here. Let me move my light to a better angle. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this. And we got the axle, and the axle is gonna come right out, right? Not too much force on the lines or anything. Just these. Remember, I took these off. Even this would have stretched by now, right? So, but if you don't need to, you don't need to. But do it just for the safety. All right, guys. So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go under the car, right? And we're gonna pry that axle out of there. All right, guys. This is the part that you might not be able to see. So all I'm doing is I'm gonna pry this axle out of the transmission. Sometimes it won't come out, and sometimes it will come out easy. Alright, so this is the one that's not gonna come out so easy. let me get this out and then I'll show you, alright? Because there's not much room down there for me to show you anything. Guys, I got this stupid axle out. Alright. I just did a Sienna axle last week and then I got this. This is freaking, it's gonna curse the shit out of it. Jobs are just turning into a fucking nightmare. Alright. I had to cut a goddamn hole right there, then air hammer so the hole can go through. And then I put the slide hammer. This is a slide hammer. I'll put the slide hammer there. Wow, really? Just because this does not go in liquid. I just remember I did this years back. There's no lubrication here at all. So this is rusted, jammed in there. Wow. All right, but I got it out. There's the stupid axle. So I'm ready to put the new axle. Here's the new axle. Just match it up and make sure everything is good. And this piece, you can take it out. I'll take it out right now. I have a pick here somewhere laying around. I'll just use this goddamn thing. Right, and this has grease inside. That's why they put that little thing. There's grease inside and it's see-through, so you can't really, when I was telling you to hit this, you have to hit it on the edge right here. Can't hit it directly. All right, so there's the axle and I'm gonna put this in, and this is the side that goes into transmission. All right, but before you do anything, make sure you put some grease here. All right, this will hold the ring straight. The grease will hold it for you. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna simply get this axle in there. Make sure it's nice and aligned. And then you can take a hammer or a rubber hammer such as this and tap that axle in, all right? Once you hear it clank like that, it's in. Just go down there. Make sure you check it. Okay, this one's not in yet. Some needs to be hit more, right? It's probably not gonna go in easy. There you go. I felt it clunk in. Yeah, it's in now. Let me just give it a 1 or 2 good more taps, just in case. Sometimes I get mad, I just hit the crap out of it. So I don't care if something breaks, all right? Sometimes you gotta abuse it. I worked really hard to get the axle. I showed you what I did was I used the air cutter from right here. I sliced it 2 slices, and then I used the air hammer from the back to slice it out. But I got it out. Anyways, let's go further. Let's not argue with this damn thing. All right, so I'm gonna take this axle. I'm gonna put it into the spindle, into the bearing, the hub, whatever you want to call it. And at the same time, I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to line my ball joint. Oh, wow. Make sure you catch the teeth and axle teeth and the teeth on the other end, so you don't, later on, you don't regret that it's not in there. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm gonna just take this and I'm gonna try to get this ball joint where it belongs. And drop it in there, and then I'll put the 315s. Let me get the 315s right now. So these are the 15s. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let me just bring my camera down, and I'll bring my light over also. So I'm working over here. I'm putting these 3 bolts in. These are number 15s. I'm sorry, 16s. These are 16s. All right. So once you catch the threads, simply tighten those. Alright, let me get my gun ready. Alright, it's a pause in the video, I'm sorry. Alright guys, here it is. Number 16. Alright guys, I have that. What I'll do next is, while we at it, I have a good axis here. I can maneuver this around a little bit, and let me just make sure I did get my axle in place. I got it perfect, alright? So I'll put this connector in, and these 3 connectors, alright? 2 connectors, I'm sorry. Put them both in. Make sure the routing is good. Alright. So this is pretty much done, guys, alright? And this is number 19 or 18, whatever you want to call it. Alright guys. Let me go clean up my hands and we'll finish the last few things. Guys, so we got everything, guys. We're gonna tighten this 19 up. And then we'll tighten the axle up. So pretty much you gotta put your weight on this, alright? Sometimes this bolt does not want to go in. See that? I got stuck. It's spinning, alright? So I gotta use a pry bar next. That's the next step. I'll use a pry bar to put the force down. Alright, just use a little leverage from the frame of the car, but don't bend the tie rods. One hand and one hand, alright? Not so easy. There you go. Double check it. And that's it, guys. And the last thing we're gonna do here is, I'll move my camera over. For some reason, my axle didn't come with a new bolt. I gotta call the parts guy. But I gotta move this car out of the bay to bring in another car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just tighten this for a meanwhile, and then I'll put another bolt in later on. I always hold the axle from the back so it doesn't spin. There you go, right? And that's it, guys. And we're done. Just double check out all your work. Everything should be good. Alright, got the connectors in, got the tie rod in, got the ball joint bolts in, got the axle in itself. Axle is into the transmission, and we got the bolt. Thank you, subscribe, and bye-bye. If you need help, just message me.